Hi Collective, welcome or welcome back to the channel. We're just gonna start. I already laid out a bunch of cards. Some of them are turned over, some of them aren't, because I just want to prepare and not waste too much of your time and my data plan. So this is going to be a collective timeless love reading, and today was a beautiful day. I filmed myself for like an hour because I always like to have the camera on before I start, just so I'm subconsciously aware where I'm going, right? And it was a beautiful day, and I thought I was going to be able to scry some clouds, but a storm rolled in. And a lot of signs and synchronicities already showed up. However, I started with the mineral deck, and the overall energy is awakening. And the key words are emotional intelligence with the number 5. And right next to it, I drew 2 cards. One is Hydro. He says emotional cleansing with the number 26, and a Nirvana quartz with clearing karma with the number 32. So a 585 could be a synchronicity for you, or that might hold more information as it pertains to this message. So I'm just going to start turning over cards and start channeling. So let's see what we have. The thing is that collectively we are processing a lot of grief. There's a lot of grief going on in the world, and especially when it comes to reconnecting with the heart center, it's really hard. We might be in new relationships or friendships or just, meeting new people quite damaged, and that is kind of like a topic I've also seen physically in with my close interpersonal friendships and so on, where a bunch of people are suffering, questioning themselves, questioning our sanity, or questioning our path almost. Because we do have the hidden path coming out from the Gaia's deck, and it says the marriage of spirit and matter. And we have a sun, an Ankh, and the Eye of Ra. So Egypt is very significant, and as you may know, we are reincarnated, most of us. If you resonate with my channel, this is not your first rodeo. You have been embodied before. However, when we embody into a human form, we embody into senses, into emotions, into fear, and a bunch of these, limiting constructs that keep us away from being in that constant, unconditional, universal, one love energy, which we are definitely collectively trying to achieve. And it's very important to us because you're closing out karmic cycles, and sometimes to close out a karmic cycle we need to have that one last reminder, or one last chance, one last try, I'm hearing, because you are now fully online. The sequence has locked. You are seen, and you are seen by the divine. You are definitely very guarded and guided, because there's big things happening in your life. You are not keeping yourself small anymore. You're not taking life with a little spoon, because it's, as much as it is about the little things in life, in this next season, it's about the big things in life. So there's a message for you that says, stop self-sabotaging with small-minded thinking. Yes, you're humble, but sometimes too humble. Think big. What is your dream? What makes your heart sing? Be boldly proud of needing less to feel grateful for everything. Your soul is already shining. Just one more step towards becoming a whole beacon of light and love. And that's where you are. Because right underneath we have one of my cards, leave me alone or love me fully. And I wrote this card last year when I was very heartbroken, because I was like, you're either going to accept me, love me, pour into me, and not put me in third parties, or mention other people when you know it hurts me. So I was like, you have two options. You can leave me the fuck alone, or you can love me to your greatest capabilities. Like fully, right? With full energy, not like with pleasing every love language within me, rather returning the love in a way that feels like home, that feels safe, that feels trustworthy. You're returning to the soul's memory, your soul's memory. So people have mirrored a bunch of things, and this is where the merriment happens, right? Because our society is wired towards projections and reacting rather than responding. You're being reminded, collective, that to come into unison with yourself, with oneself, and being able to heal, self-heal, regenerate, keep loving people, and keep keep being able to shine for others. And I'm getting like a bunch of a large portion of the collective is just tired, tired of repeating same karmic cycles, tired of not listening to your intuition, tired of feeling unloved or loved only 20%. You are ready to be fully loved 100%, like more, like God is being angry. We have a saying in my country, when it thunders, it's like God is mad. And that's going to be our confirmation, 737 on the timer, that God is bringing in judgment because people haven't invested in you. They have been very childish when it comes to the way you love. It has been received in a way where it's too much or not enough. And you're done feeling that way because you're cutting people out in such a strong, fiery, magnetic, sharp, like metal sharp, like Japanese knives for sashimi, you know, sharp mind. And because you have been able to see things and people and situations for what they truly are, you have listened to yourself, your higher self. You have listened to God, your spirit guides, your ancestors, because you have rewired yourself towards healing, towards love. You never stopped questioning other people's projections, and the way they have treated you has been directly connected to the way you have been treating yourself, and this is where it stops. That's why I don't know where this came from. That was a weird type of channeling. I wasn't hearing or seeing, I was just speaking, something was speaking through me. The number 7, you have a lot of angels guarding and guiding and protecting you, collective. You're very angelically abundant. Like your protection has been in all of your past lives the same. You could even be an incarnated sort of a code of a deity that has come to speak on it, to speak on love, to speak on, you know, conditioning of this planet, to speak against certain negativities and to bring people back into that solar center. Or if you haven't, you are just yourself coming towards your solar center. As we have talked in the previous videos, there's this golden dragon alignment going on that I have channeled, and it's this unwavering, unshakable, wow, unshakable spiritual spine, but it's coming from this yellow golden draconic elemental place where you have or will train your core in many different ways, you know, physically, spiritually, mentally. You will train yourself to be assertive and to be confident, to be proud without a negative connotation, because you have closed out cycles. You have gone against your own grain, against your past self. People are literally throwing tantrums around you. And the path that is in front of you is a bit more hidden than you might like, collective. And that's why we kind of, you know, vibrate towards unlocking secrets in the occult and in spirituality, because we know that, you know, these are not the ways. This is not the way. That's what I'm hearing. Like, you want to be in front of people that are just like you, and you are now rewiring your brain and your heart and your root to come into this unshakable, strong alignment where you are now able, because you are understanding that you're like magnetizing and manifesting super fast now, and it goes both ways, negative and positive. You're being very mindful of the things you speak, the things you think, and how you process these sensitivities, because if you're watching this in a timely manner, we have shifted timelines in a day. This is the other 6 months in front of us, lunar wise, where we are kind of entering into these solar and lunar eclipse seasons each year. So as much as summer is warm and inviting and fun and, you know, exciting, and we may be indulging a bit too much in certain frequencies that are negative. I'm speaking about food, drink, people, maybe even addictions. However, the sun is coming out, so you will be able to see that what you're going towards is wish fulfillment with this new emotional cycle that God is giving you, because you have discerned your path. You have stood your ground, you have set your boundaries, you have spoken your truth, and you did everything that was necessary for you to move on, to evolve into your new best self. And I wish you could see this, but the sun is shining literally down just one single beam of light, and because it's in such a, well, I'll try to remember to upload this to my computer and post it on the community tab, because you cannot do that on mobile YouTube Studio, but it's giving me like aliens are helping you, or you are the one that will be lifted up in this column of light, because, well, this is conceptual knowledge, but when we are transcending from or transmuting from a physical body to back towards just soul that is not embodied, we are kind of like being, you know, beamed up by God, let's say it like that. But also what I was hearing right now, as I was trying to make a point, a good one as well, I was hearing spotlight. It's like a spotlight, and it is, you are having this I'm hearing shine on you, crazy diamond, and woo, chills. And it made me think of my bestie. Because you are this shining star, you are the sun, you are a main character, right? You are like, everything revolves around you even when you don't want it to. And you don't want it, right? It's just, it comes naturally. It's intuitive. People intuitively want to orbit around you and, you know, love on you. But what you're doing is you're cleansing your emotions, because the anhydro is a type of mineral that has a water bubble stuck inside, and nature does this. So you might feel like there's a bubble of emotions that is trapped within you, but not per se trapped. It's just been there your whole life, because these are really rare, and so are you, collective. But the water that you carry, you could be a water sign or an Aquarius even, or have those placements that are important in your chart, like Moon, Venus, Ascendant, whatever, Mars. You could also have Scorpio placements, because 26 is an 8. But you are a special kind of mineral, right? You are definitely one that is able to clear karma. You have a lot of emotional intelligence. You are constantly evolving and having these awakenings and changing, constantly changing and being balanced in that change. So I'm hearing you're very adaptable. You're very precise when it comes to your emotions, and it's not hard for you to release these bubbles of emotions, because you physically might feel sick if you don't, and it's in your nature to express yourselves, because through growing up, you know, we are born, this is my theory, we are born multicolored like the rainbow, right? And then when society starts throwing kicks and punches at us, we start dimming certain lights, certain colors on the spectrum of the chakra system, or these lights that we possess energetically. And you may have had a blocked throat chakra, or you were growing up where you couldn't speak up or speak up for yourself, or you would maybe even have like horrible consequences if you did speak up. And you always try to nurture others, you always try to show them a less aggressive way. But when people cross your threshold of emotional intelligence and make you feel stupid, you're ready to throw punches. Like, you may even have that problem of turning into your parents that you're trying to outgrow and break these karmic cycles, but it's this strong need for peace that is within you that will always keep you in cycles of change. And there's an ambulance probably going somewhere to help someone, right? God bless this person that needs medical assistance. However, this is the universe showing you that a bunch of chaos is going on, right? The pressure is changing, the weather is changing, your emotional intelligence and your awakening is so potent that you are physically, spiritually, and mentally unable to turn back, to go back, to do one more round, to give one more chance, because you are clearing the karma. This is your cue to clear the karma, because you're going to be grateful for closing out this cycle. You're going to be very grateful because you will be able to connect with your true emotions and feelings, like intentions for life, because this is in translation it means I'm bad at translating like this. It's like a gemstone in a tear, and You could have been crying lately. You could have had very emotional outbursts. You could be, for instance, a very, very calm person, but you have found yourself yelling at sociopaths because you just won't take no more shit. Or you could have been crying because this person has hurt you for the last time, because you understand, because you have cleared the karma, you have awakened that they have this same entity that has been following you from your childhood. Or yeah, let's just let it pass, shall we? Stretch your hips, guys. It's very important. I'm definitely practicing what I preach, guys. No worries. I have been stretching for 3 days straight, and today I need to do like a yoga session or something to stretch my back in all ways. You might be focusing on feeling good in your body again. You might be focusing on nurturing yourself. Like I'm getting these I'm hearing "sing you got ritualistic" and that's Drake, isn't it? Fuck Drake, I'm joking. But yeah, I'm not. So what I was seeing is like you in a bathtub, just loving and you know, nurturing yourself with touch, because you understand that in this season you're going to have to be your own best partner, your own mother, your own father again. And this time you will be able to fully grow up into the person that you always knew you were. And that's a person that doesn't take shit, doesn't take 20% love, because the more you invest, you don't have to be you don't have to have a lot of money, where you can still invest a lot of emotions into a person. And that is also a frequency exchange, and that also affects people. It when we think of people, it's usually because they're thinking of us, they're pulling on our energy, or vice versa. So now in this season we are understanding how things work on a quantum level, and how certain laws work. And it's really about being able to surrender towards all of these how to say this. It's like you wanted something to work out so badly, but something kept proving or giving you signs. Or it's like I'm seeing like somebody carelessly running through fields of flowers because they're living through their inner child. However, that child is being, you know, endangered by the people that are supposed to take care of this child. And I feel like I'm speaking to somebody that has had a horribly neglected inner child in so many ways, may it be from your parents, your partners, and even yourself. And that's what's breaking right now. It's literally being shown so clearly that you cannot just be like, ah, that's not there. Rose-colored glasses. It's not that bad, is it? He didn't mean that. She didn't mean that. Well, you know, they say that babies and drunkards and whoever else, they're honest speakers, and we do, under certain influences, get out of our character or our strength, our alignments, our truth, which is being able to ride these senses and situations completely sober, and I understand that. Sometimes we do need certain life hacks to calm the nerves, but there's a limit when it comes to you being over emotional on the other hand, because you had some suppressed emotions and you just drank 2 more drinks, right? And that's where the night kind of turned over into an emotional one. I'm getting, you're being liberated from your own thought patterns. You're being literally reprogrammed, and every negative thought is now so visible. Like, I'm seeing you, my third eye just started pulsating, kind of like in a hurtful way, but you're literally breaking your own mind to reprogram yourself and to come into alignment of your own mind over matter, and spirit and matter alignment, right? Because we had that in the Gaia deck, and we have that here in Justice. She's holding a a brain and a heart, and she's also has this pictorial light alignment, right? Sometimes we come to crossroads in life to assess these things, and this is also kind of like a crossroad energy to me currently, because to have a merriment of spirit and matter, so everything that is outside ourselves, it takes a lot of patience from the projector and the projected, right? It takes a lot of knowledge to stop being a projector and having to absorb all these projections. It takes a lot of spiritual awakening, a lot of cleansing karma, a lot of talking to yourself, talking to God, talking to your animals, talking to your guitar. Because, well, we have talked about the big things, right? And you're the big thing, collective. You're the one with the 10,000 names. We have Isis showing up in 10,000 of her forms. So you're very powerful. You're very... It's hard to breathe in your new alignment, because you have been so scared to live your true self, your true unapologetic self, and have your heart literally in the palm of your hands and being like, but this is me, but this is me. You're being overseen constantly. All of your 10,000 other dimension selves are coming into this one alignment. Crows are confirming. The power that you will now receive or have been receiving, it's fluctuating in, it's not just trickling in, but it's like flowing in on these waves, because on these waves you're the one that's kind of going up and down through the motions of what's happening in your lives, and you're getting there, right? People have recognized how powerful you are. People have recognized you from a past life. People have recognized an angel in you. People have recognized all of your facets. And even though you have these human forms of, I'm too good for this world and I'm not here to be stuck up your ass about it, but it's the truth. Because the way you endlessly emanate power is something that needs to be pointed out with a lot of seriousness, especially because people in your life haven't taken you seriously, haven't been taking you seriously. Yeah, look, we got the ankh, and there's another ankh in here between the two trees. And what is the ankh? Well, in my theory, and probably a lot of people's theories as well, it represents the reproductive system, right? It represents the womb, the creation. It represents where life originates from. And when conception happens in life form, when two particles come together, it could be you and that person, for instance. When two particles come together and conceive, a soul attaches to that, right? And whether it be a literal child, that concept is when, you know, the sperm and the egg come together, there's a lot of selection being made by the egg. And as well, when they do come together and they fit, a soul attaches to it, right? It was waiting to be initiated into the mission, because what we are doing, what we are, is trapped light, right? We are trapped within our bodies, even though, well, none of us, I bet my bottom dollar, which I don't even own, I bet my bottom euro that what was I saying? Interference? Where is my bell? No, my bell is over yonder. Okay, yeah. I guess we have a lot of interference because I grabbed the two sages. What I'm hearing right now, collective, is that people around you are superficial and shallow. Did somebody crash? My God, everybody's crazy, guys. Literally everybody's crazy. The fuck is going on? So yeah, what I got from this was actually there was a lot of interference of insecurities. And insecurity is like that demon that has attached to your solar plexus, so you're not confident, right? We will cleanse the space with some white sage. This is just to protect myself and you, collective. All of you watching with good intention, always know that you are kept in my prayers, protected and safe. I'm shaking from coffee, but it's also this energy transmission where people around you are nervous, karmic especially, but nervous that you will cut them off. So many confirmations. I'm sorry I didn't close my windows, but we need each and every confirmation because of all the chaos that's going on in the collective, you know, throughout the ethers. And because of your power of being able to pretty much melt and smelt your negative thoughts away, like you are just so done that I feel like I can read your mind and you're speaking to yourself like, never again, never fucking again. I have learned this lesson and I will not think of negative things anymore. That's not me. Abundance of Sothis, stellar beings of the celestial goddess of abundance. We're gonna read this card. This one is an interesting one, I bet. Just 1 second. Okay, got it. Abundance in many forms is flowing to you now, beloved. Intend right now to receive it. Just decide to do so in your heart this very moment. The Oracle of Abundance of Sothis comes as guidance to expect increased flow and to continue your good works of building channel through which abundance can be delivered to you. Freely share your talents, love, wisdom, and self, and enjoy the abundance responsibly flowing to you in many forms over and over again. That's so beautiful, guys. Aww. And the abundance that's coming in is the peace of mind. That's like the wave that is slowly creeping up on you, but in a good way. And I had to check my phone because just OCD things. And I saw that I keep some of my like sacred work apps on so I don't forget. So I have this notification that Mercury has entered Cancer, and it says, intuitive communication flows from emotional wisdom. Trust your feelings as valid information and speak from the heart. And this is also, you know, Cancer is 4th house. It's home, it's family. And Mercury is the planet that represents Gemini and is quite volatile, right? Because Mercury is super close to the sun, and it can take a bunch of hits, right? From just the sun being so close. I mean, it being close to the sun. And it feels like a sacrificial lamb energy. I don't know why I'm even channeling this, but I really wanted to say that even though there is kind of like a small conjunction, not conjunction, but it's not injunction. I'm brain farting, guys. So Cancer and Gemini are right next to each other, right? And they understand each other because they're close in season, and you know, but they're not very similar to each other because they are so close that they are so different, right? But it's about the energy of communicating what's home to you, what brings you peace, how do you want your future family to look like. And I'm getting that with time, as this wave of peace sets upon your soul, you'll be able to redirect your thoughts towards these peaceful ones of, I actually want my future partner to be a kind, a generous man, you know, and kind of like affirming that within yourself, within your body, because you are so potent and magnetizing in like currently on your path that you really need to be careful what you think, because if you think negatively right now, you are actually creating the energy of feeling alone and without a family, right? But I'm here to reassure you, you have family all around the world. Everybody that meets you is either triggered because you're so powerful, or just amazed by how nurturing your heart is, and you're like an angel in their lives. So we have some oracles that I pulled, and it's all about security. First and foremost, we have these primal ways of being, right? We're separated into two genders, into two polarities. There's light, there's dark, there's male, there's female, there's blah, 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 right? Everything has its own contrast. Every word has a negation or a contrasting word to keep everything in balance, right? But to bring ourselves into balance, we need to go way, way back, right? We have to go back all those 10,000 incarnations and go back to where we were connected to the stars and the cycles and rhythms of Mother Earth. Because we do have Gaia here on the bottom. She is supporting this reading completely with the number 5. She says, wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual understanding. So collective, you are the types of aliens, alien people, that you escaped those effed up programs. You have escaped so many persecutions through your incarnations. I'm hearing you could have been like me, like the hidden one, where you have been guided through your life in such a vicious way, but every single thing that happened to you brings you towards this solid soul of 10,000 lives that you have previously lived, meaning not just that you were incarnated as a human or an animal. You have been on 10,000 different planets already. This is 10,001 for you. And the energy behind this card is actually the one where you are coordinating yourself with the light, with the daylight, and your routines are becoming very sacred, very spiritual, very potent and magnetic, majestic even, I heard. Because you are walking through a gateway, because what's being illuminated is the flow of adventures, right? We have illumination, and then we have flow and adventures. And flow just fell away so effortlessly. Like, you need to be flowing. It's not about going against the current in this season. You are surrendering into your own cosmic waters. You're being aligned with the stars. You're being aligned with the planets. You are feeling everything already. It's just that now everything has an explanation. And I'm also here for that. Oh my God, look at this. These three, if you are looking at the reading, you saw that these were turned over. Because I like to, when I prepare cards, I ask the spirit to please just keep them turned over so I don't see them, and sometimes I just like blindly pick them out. But I remember when I was pulling the cards before I started filming the reading, I like doubted the last one, but the first two came out together. And it's so interesting because the first two cards are going forward and action, right? Like, this is your path, this is your emotion in the ocean, and it's time for action. No more reactions. It's like you are now responding because you are in tune with your feisty emotions. And here it also looks like there's a storm, kind of like the one we had, but the sun keeps trying to shine through. The sun always shines through for you. 44:22 on the timer. If you're a divine feminine, you have balanced your masculinity, as in, if it was too high, you kind of are going back or have gone back to the basics of femininity and rediscovering what that means to you. And if you're a guy, you have also toned down your masculinity by going into your feminine receptive mode. You're hearing things differently and better because you're now able to follow, you're receptive towards your intuition, and you're able to follow yourself even better, which shows and brings you great results. And the last but not least, definitely the card of leadership. You have the power and the strength of a goddamn polar bear. And where do they live? In the fucking north or south, wherever. They survive the coldest conditions. I'm hearing Cardi B enough, like enough is enough. Like, they was just in my DMs. Cannot trust these sluts, right? So you are leaving behind so many people because you realized they don't have a good intention. And now you cannot lie to yourself anymore. You cannot go against your intuition because you know it'll just push you in another cycle. You haven't dealt with that specific emotion. Well, here's a situation that you were actually trying to avoid but failed miserably because you haven't listened to yourself, to your higher self. Now you can see physically, materially, because that's what you need. You need physical proof because you, well, you needed it. Now you are a bit more understanding of how things work, but us as humans, we have all done this and we are still doing this. We have to have physical proof, like affirmations and this and that. Like, we need to satisfy all of our 5 senses, but we forget about the rest, the other 5, the suppressed 5 senses, right? Because we're channeling here. Not just me, you're channeling as well. And you're healing. Divine Feminine. Let your light shine. I could just go through this whole deck, but you are coming into a cosmic alignment. You're coming you're coming and going really strong with the Strength and the Chariot. That's literally Cancer and, oh, that's Cancer and Leo. So maybe the season where it goes from Gemini, like Sun in Gemini, to Sun in Cancer, to Sun in Leo, is when all the good things are going to start showing. And that is your next season. That's literally where, I don't know, I don't care much about Taurus. I'm sorry, Tauruses, but yeah, it's June 1st. We are already in Gemini. I'm not looking at the calendar that much. Sorry, guys. So this season and the next 2 are very important. So we just had, if you're watching this in a timely manner, of course, this will resonate probably even more, because we just had a full moon in Sag. And now we're going to a new moon in Gemini, because Taurus season has ended. Did it? Am I lying right now? When does Gemini start? Maybe, yeah, it's already Gemini season. Okay. I'm not very up to date with astrology because I feel everything. But yeah, it's new moon in Gemini because it's Gemini season. So this one and the next 2 new moon cycles are very important. So if you're watching this anywhere from the last full blue moon in Sagittarius towards the new moon in Gemini, this is very specific. The next 2, Gemini. By new moon in Leo, you're going to be exactly where you always wanted to be. Like, you might not believe this, but when you start believing this, you start creating this, right? We talked about the potency of magnetizing very rapidly, negative and positive. So just start, if you haven't already, just start imagining the life that you actually want to live. And don't dream small, dream big, right? It's the big things in life. Don't cut yourself short before you even try to manifest a good financial state, abundant opportunities, connections that are worth keeping, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of healing within the Divine Feminine, not just the Divine Feminine collective, but the Divine Feminine within each and every one of us. The receiving part, right? The spiritual understanding part. It's being healed as we speak, because we have enlightenment. So, enlightenment. This is a global enlightenment, right? And I just pressed, well, I just tapped the Seven of Cups card. And it's a nasty. We channeled this in the previous reading I did. It's a nasty Seven of Cups, actually. But I wasn't looking, and I was like swaying the sage around, and I booped the snoot of the lizard. And that's what you're going to do, because like you're so going to be so unapologetically you that you're gonna come up to, like, it's like that meme when there's like a venomous lizard and he's like, oh, we no moose. You're gonna be like that meme. Like, you're just gonna approach the most toxic people and be just like, boop, boop, I will fuck you up, boop, because you don't care. It's just this careless energy of coming back into your strength and just propelling forward with the Chariot. Because what is right next to the Chariot is the Eight of Swords in reverse. You are done being stuck in illusions. You're done being stuck in the matrix, in these negative emotions and these horrible people that you want more love for them than they want for you, and it shows. And you're just drawing the line in the sand, setting up a boundary and being like, boop, I fucking double dare you. Try me, bitch. Yeah, because you're going towards your soul family. You could also be around the age of 36, or that age will be definitely a timeline where you are surrounded by your soul family for sure. If you are older than 36, then you have already accumulated certain souls that definitely bring together this family that is for you, right? You have an ease of communication. You can be completely who you are without feeling much remorse about your expression. And because Gaia, Mother Earth, is our home, she's also our soul family, and she has a message for you that you really need to flow in your honest and true emotions, because your body remembers every trauma and every drama, and you are cleansing out your mind, body, and soul. So you're being very particular in this timeline about who you give your time and energy to, because it's all about you, collective. No more stupid dum-dums and people that don't appreciate your angelic self. Yeah, I just saw lightning. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. Love endures. This is a message for everybody that has tried to save, fix, or give another chance to a situation, whatever it is, but we're speaking about something that's important to us, whether it be a person, a project, our work, our family, you know, our animals, whatever it be, the things and the experiences and the people and the animals and the plants that you love, is that love, that which endures. And even though we come across people we want to be loved by, and we put immense, profound experiences and communications into a certain, you know, situation that we love, we're the ones that keep the dream going. And I'm here to remind you that everybody that doesn't have the tools to help you paint your dream, or the skills to help you navigate the waters, because this is a boat. It's a dreamy, dreamy boat. And music is very important to you. Family is very important to you, and soul connections as well. You could be, if you're a female, you could have lighter hair. However, I'm getting you're being guided by your own inner emotional strength, because there's this lion that's on the front of the ship. I don't know what's the word for the front of the ship, where sirens used to be, you know, mermaids used to be in these pirate movies. It's about not sacrificing the divine feminine, no matter your gender. We're not sacrificing the divine feminine anymore, especially not for lower timeline people, situations and projects that do not align with how we love and, you know, how we spread the love. Because even though you're the type that's you're a dreamer, you don't give up. It's the last thing you do, and it hurts you the most, because you're the one that always tries to your best abilities. And even if your communication wasn't, you know, like as if you were being, you know, talked to by a therapist, like you could have had emotional outbursts because these situations were important to you, and you couldn't see how other people can just give up and lose faith, how other people cannot withstand the situation. And it's because they don't carry on their ship of the dream that they live embodied, they do not carry the strength. We did have the strength coming out, guys. Yeah, I got pain in my neck. So there's painful communication that needs to happen for a bunch of you, and it's to clear the karma, to cleanse the emotions, to understand that the trapped water bubble in hydro is what makes the hydro so valuable. And if people cannot appreciate, value, support, cheer for you, ask you how are you doing, and support you to their best abilities with a good intention, then they may as well fall away. And we're gonna take the anhydra with us. We're gonna take the emotional waters with us. And they're not trapped. They are a systemic part of who you are. Yeah, spiritual connection. Where did we have that? No, here. Right? We have, I mean, this one is in Slovene, but it literally says I hate translating. It literally says spiritual connection, spiritual and emotional connection. So your emotions are directly linked to your spirit, right? So if you are low in spirits, of course, 59 on the timer, you're not going to be able to have the connections that you long for, that you know, the family that you wish to have around you, be it project managers, be it employees, be it partners, be it friends, family, you name it. The cycles are closing on some connections, romantic connections, that the waters have run dry. You could have been taming a lot of beasts inside of you. I'm getting, because I was being pointed to this royal family walking. It's like you and this person on another timeline, you have the beasts tamed. But the beasts are different. One is a black panther and one is probably a jaguar. And sometimes we need to understand that some of us, we are cats walking this planet Earth because our intuition and our connection and a bunch of these divine feminine qualities come from this feline intuition, the Egypt, right? And in this card, they're walking, but let's say this is your higher self, this is them, or vice versa. This is the connection of emotion that flows with you, between you two. And in that dream, you're walking the tamed beasts. It's like you're not walking dogs. It's literally you two being married in your garden of your empire with somebody that is serving you shade to keep you cool, right? So the universe, your spirit guides, God, everyone that is behind the connection is supporting, or, well, for some it might be, if this is like a karmic connection, your spirit guides have thrown shade. So you would see that they are shady, that they're like too dark for you. But for most of you, I'm getting there's this beautiful spiritual 5D connection between the divine feminine and the divine masculine, where you have met or are going to meet them in the next 2 to 3 months, where you can imagine growing abundance, growing gardens, growing house, growing family together, and having your own beasts tamed. Because the man has a black panther on a leash, and black panther is one of my it's me as a spirit animal. It's when anybody ever asked me like what animal would you be if you had to be one, I always say black panther. However, that is also the masculine part, right? Me personally, I'm very attracted to somebody that has the same curiosity about life and isn't short with words or expression, because I'm a profound thinker and feeler, and I need somebody with that Black Panther energy that is going to be able to walk my beast. So I'm feeling like these beautiful connections that are being brought in, the sun just shone, these beautiful connections that are being brought in, it's like the person that you're meeting or have met that matches your energy, you will walk their beast and they will walk your beast. Because it's like the chariot. It's about being able to balance yourself within the light and the dark, and also therefore be able to find people who are balanced. Because in your strength energy, in your unstuck Eight of Swords energy, you're being propelled forward into a connection that is worthy of dancing through life with, because I never looked so deeply in these cards because I haven't channeled much through them, and when I look at them, I don't look at them the same way when I read for myself as when I do for the collective. And I'm noticing there are stairs. So, and also the spiritual kind of turned into spiral. So you could have been walking your path and it was uphill spiral. Now you're kind of like, if you're a female, you're like frolicking down the stairs of your house, and it's the stairs you always wanted, and they're curvy, and you're like holding onto the rail and slowly gliding down, holding your dress because you're a magical princess. And if you're a guy, you're just like, you know, coming, or you already are, or are coming into this, your chest being just so proud of what you have been able to cultivate, to create, and to give to others energetically or physically. And collective, you must understand that there will always be people holding your hand. Even if it's hard for you to ask for help, even if it's hard for you to reach out, I'm here to inform you and affirm you that it's only up from here, because you came up these stairs into this spiritual connection, right? You have to go up the spiral to get to unconditional love. Because if you go down the spiral into your lower chakra systems that are keeping you stuck in fear and anxiety and depression and anger and sadness, you know, it's a different staircase. You know, we have stairway to heaven and highway to hell, right? And that's that always stuck with me, because it's really easy to give into peer pressure, to do what other people are doing, to go back to that 9 to 5 because you got used to the money or whatever it is, right? In this next season, collective, you are flipping tables. I literally saw somebody flip a table. Okay, let's move on and close this reading out. We have 3 more cards, and these are very, very important messages from your love angels and from your higher self. We have, wow, I look at this picture as if it's you, collective. Each and every single strand of hair on your head is embedded in magic, but your higher self is protecting you in this bubble, and it's giving you might feel head tingles or your hair kind of like maybe stand up when I speak about this. That's extra confirmation that the reading, this message is for you. But I'm seeing your higher self is holding you in such a beautiful way, because your higher self knows how great you are. You know, like, it's just hard to, comprehend that in this 3D reality, because your higher self always wants you to be safe, to feel nurtured, to feel loved, and they always help you keep your colors, because you will never go to a gray state of being ever again. You don't want to be stuck in cycles of internal winter anymore. Yes, we have seasonal depression. There is no pollen in the air to remind us that we're alive by sneezing, right? But it's this internal winter that you refuse to go back to. Like, this was the last time I didn't listen to red flags. This is the last time I didn't, take it to God and talk to myself, like, what's best for me, because nobody really ever cared about me. So I never really cared about me because nobody taught me. And now that I'm teaching myself how to care for myself and what helps me be me, like truly, even though I am a very emotional person that not many people understand, as long as I follow myself, I know I always end up with the right people in the right places, because that's what has already happened and that will happen again. I have just been stuck in a karmic loop that had to be broken for the final time. Yeah. So your throat chakras are being fully unlocked, fully unblocked. Your emotions are being surfaced only to be let go of, to acknowledge them, to grieve, to process, to go through them with the intent to let them go. Because your highest self has a bigger plan for you. So take a chance on love. When we start to love, our lives are changed forever. Vish na zdravie. God bless him. We say, see, it's true when somebody sneezes. And that was confirmation for sure. And we have these, through the gate, there are two waning moons, right? They are kind of going towards dying, right? And I'm getting there's this emotional cycle that's collectively being released from such a soul level that you will be able to heal while you sleep. Like the love, when you take a chance on loving yourself fully, like 100%, every day you find new ways to love yourself or to keep yourself happy and joyful and positive. That's when you are literally rewiring your brain to understand that you are lovable, you are loved, you're the beloved, and you are love embodied. And we sometimes have to fake it till we make it and lie to ourselves, because our brain doesn't understand that we're sarcastic. It doesn't understand that we're cynical or making jokes. That's the truth for the brain, because it's a frequency. It's I don't know how to explain this precisely right now, but you practicing positive words in front of the mirror towards yourself is you taking a chance on self-love. And because your brain doesn't differentiate between truth and lie, you will be able to rewire your brain back to truth, even though you might not believe it at this point, or it could have been, it could be a really hard, like I'm getting physically sick from, like you just want to vomit all of your emotions out because they make you sick, because they're acidic and a lot has been suppressed within the body. And because you have taken chances on people and loving them, you have taken also a chance on having these transmitted demons and stress and fear. So it takes a while to get people out of our system, especially when we are actively exchanging saliva with them, right? Or being in bed with them. Everything is an energetic exchange. As soon as we come close to a person, into their personal space, because of the electromagnetic field of the heart. So be authentic to who you are, collective. You are asked to be real and pertaining and true, pertaining to who you are and how you feel. Number 39 is also very significant in this reading for some reason. But you're changing. You are going from being a mirror for somebody to being in front of your own mirror. You're ready to do all the things that you were trying to teach other people. Maybe that's why I said I'm practicing what I'm preaching in the beginning, because you too have maybe had this period in your life where you had this imposter syndrome, and now that's going away because the people are falling away. The emotions are being processed, surfaced, released, because you're being authentic. You're taking the greatest chance on love by taking care of yourself. And it'll be different for each and every one of you. Especially, it's hard for me to give advice for men, because I'm just usually giving advice from, you know, my heterosexual female perspective. But it really helped me to invest into smaller, cheaper beauty routines, or I helped myself to a rose from the neighbor to create a bubble bath that brings me back to my divine feminine, and I put in coconut oil and rosemary, and I just, you know, bathe myself in the milk and honey that I create for myself. And the milk and honey that you create for yourself, whatever your therapy is, it could just be having a karaoke session, having a painting session, or going for a run. It could be anything. The way you keep giving, or the way you will keep giving to yourself in these next 3 months, is going to be how you always wanted to be nurtured by others, and you're giving that to yourself. And people have to fall away because they cannot compete where they do not compare, collective. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys. If you enjoyed this reading, of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the cool stuff that you can to support me. And yeah, I would really like to hear your thoughts on all of this. Are you resonating with this message, and how? Because it's definitely similar but different for each and every one of us. Or rather, put in the comments what your new routine will look like, or what you want your routine to look like in a perfect world where you don't get swayed by situations, when you are at peace in your mind, body, and soul. What's the life that you envision with your soul family, your future? Where do you see yourself thriving the most? Is it a different country? Is it a bigger house? Is it a different relationship? What's going on? Started making sound. So the incense stick started making like sounds. So I'm getting that your emotions will not be interfered anymore, like you're getting ready to speak up, like your truth. And if it's the last thing you do towards a situation that you're worrying about, you're going to speak the whole truth and nothing but the truth, because that means honoring yourself and God. So yeah, that's all. I love you so much. Thank you for being here for an hour and 20 with me. I love you so much. If you made it to the end, never forget that you always have a home next to me. If you want to book a personal reading, check the description box. Write me an email if you want to ponder some things or have a question that you would like to be answered on the channel, or have a topic for the collective. Those are always open for you guys. And thank you to all my new subscribers. I'm so happy that you are here, especially if you have been guided and have listened to me. I know that slowly and surely we are creating this our own little soul family of enlightenment with the Mother Earth on our beautiful planet. And that's something that I've always wanted to create. The connection of, no matter how far apart we are always close to each other in hearts, because it doesn't matter how much time passes and I don't see you or you don't see me, the love is still there. The love that we share doesn't go anywhere. It has been seen by the source and it will return to source. Everything that is in between, it's just life. And sometimes life do be lifing, but most of the time it's a test of your strength, your wisdom, and your spiritual connection. So stay protected, stay prayed up. Don't forget to mindfully cleanse your bodies whenever you do shower or take baths. Don't forget that water sitting next to you is a frequency absorber, so be very nice with the words that you project into the ether, because when energy is close to us, it only affects us, right? That's why we sometimes have to scream at the top of our lungs. But when we're talking to ourselves, that's when we need to be loud and proud and confident and assertive, because, you know, you can maybe see I'm not wearing any makeup. I do have a ring light and I do have some under eyes that need like lymph drainage. I need to invest in a gua sha. However, I have been observing myself this past week how a bunch of these nurturing ways that I keep to myself, or I do go out and socialize, or I take a bath in the middle of the day because I'm impatient to wait until the evening, and just flowing with myself definitely helps me also to see a mirror and be like, you're so pretty today. Because I grew up believing I'm ugly. That's a whole nother story for another day. I won't keep you here any longer, but yeah. It's time to start speaking positive things to yourself and to others, or hold your peace until death do us part, right? Like, we are not here to be orchestrated, manipulated, and pushed around to find out. Because when we do believe ourselves, our intuition, our confidence, our capability of seeing red flags, etc., we are able to follow the natural course of what is for us. So in hindsight, what we have been doing is just a bunch of self-sabotaging, because we haven't been proven otherwise that we are loved. We had to find that first within, right? You can't just go around the world expecting people to just love you unconditionally. You have to practice that yourself. You have to be assertive when people are trying to manipulate you, and you have to be kind to those that need your kindness and love. And it's just universal laws. You cannot create your dharma from doing what everybody else is doing. Not that you cannot go to a concert and have a drink, but when you have a strong spiritual spine, you're able to walk away when you feel it's needed. And those situations usually turn out to be protection. Rather, humans forget about the fact that we are being guided, we are being signaled, we are being, redirected for reasons. We have these thoughts for reasons. And even though the intuition is sometimes the most quiet part of your loud brain, it's the one voice you need to listen intently to, because it will always try to, your highest self will always try to protect you and your coloring, your multicoloredness. So expressing yourself through all 7 chakras, right? Because you're the leader and you're going towards adventures and great flow. You have successfully cleared a lot of karma already, and what hasn't been cleared yet is currently in the process of clearing. So I will definitely do a session of healing today for my collective, where these energies will have a quicker lift effect. So you might wake up glowing or feeling super inspired to connect with yourselves, to create, to go do the thing. Just start, just start. Whatever it is that you want to be doing, just start, and you'll learn as you go. Even if you were never somebody that could put together a clay pot, maybe a cute little investment into a pottery class is something that is really calling your soul. Or it could be programming, right? Shout out to my OGs. Big hearts to Shifty for holding my web page for years. I have to start working on it. And I'm seeing a bunny in the clouds. White bunnies could be significant, or just bunnies in general, but it's this very hyperactive and cute and sensual energy, because the divine feminine within each and every one of us has taken a breather, and we are able to create, we're able to receive, right? We're able to surrender into the flow of our needs, because we're listening to that part of ourselves so much clearer now, because the ego has died out, because we have left those egotistical people where they had to be left. And as much as it hurts to sometimes see yourself in a way where you're shocked that you're acting like your toxic surroundings, you collective always find a way to come back into your heart, to come back into your center, to come back into the peace of mind, because your soul is urging you, and it's so potent you cannot ignore yourself anymore. Okay, yeah, that's it. Channel closed. Love you so much. Bye.